Welcome to the Five Flavors of Happiness, hosted by Susan Piper.
Hey, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for tuning into the Five Flavors, a podcast where we talk all about happiness, how you got it, how you keep it, and how it's changed. Today is a very special episode. It's part two of our episode with the spiritual medium, Lorenzo. Folks, in the first episode, just to give you a little recap, I talked a little bit about how I met Lorenzo and how Lorenzo came out to people with his gift because it takes so much courage to be able to do that. But what I wanted to tell everybody, just give you all just a brief recap, is my mother in law had recently passed away. So my husband wanted to connect with her. But I don't think we found Lorenzo. I think she put Lorenzo in our path because as soon as we walked into Lorenzo's reading room, there was the colors of the Irish flag behind him, and she was from Dublin. Even when I think about it, it gives me the chills. It was one of the most amazing experiences of our lives. There was so much emotion, so much healing emotion. But I'm going to let you all experience that for yourself, and I'm going to leave Lorenzo's information on this podcast. So, since we don't have a lot of time, let's just jump right in. Lorenzo, I want to talk to you about regrets because I think a lot of times people have regrets in life. And when you talk to spirit, do they ever talk about regret? And what advice do they have for us?
That's wow. That's a deep question, but it's a good one. I like that. We all have regrets. We all would wish we could go back in time and not do something or do something differently or be with specific person instead of just being with another person, or live in a specific place instead of living in another place if we had the opportunity. Um, I don't get a lot of spirit telling me about their regrets unless they are open and discussing their own life when they were here in the physical world with me. And a lot of people have regrets about what they did for a living, for instance, and
Mm,
why they never took the risk of going to Hollywood, for instance, and auditioning for
Joe,
a
right,
movie,
right.
or going on a talent show and showing the world that they have an amazing gift of singing. I had a young man once said, I wish I had shown the world my paintings. And he was this beautiful artist. And in spirit, he was showing me all the work that he had done in his short period of time when he was here in the physical world. Unfortunately, he lost his life at an early age and so on. But even with those regrets that spirit will tell me about and confirm about their situations, a lot of them were happy with what they went through as well because they had a bond with their loved ones and the people around them in their physical world when they were here, and they would never change that love and bond with their loved ones. So it was more on what they did for a living or their art, and those were more of the regrets that they spoke.
Sure, and I see that because as a creative person, it is not easy to be courageous and tell people you want to take a path that might be different than your siblings or your parents. When you go down your own path, it is scary.
It is a risk that people, are scared to take, and their advice, because that was part of your question, take the risk, try it. The maximum
Mm,
is going to say no, or somebody's not going to buy your CD, or, they're not going to watch your movie. But there's a lot of people will buy your CD and watch your movie and buy your painting. You know what I mean? So their advice was always take that risk. And after connecting for a very long time, because I never was open to the public, I did that on a um, referral, just minimum clients most of my life. What I do now it because of spirit that gave me the courage to go public and to open my own space and put myself out there. So it was good advice. Yeah.
Awesome. And I agree 100%. I ask people all the time to come on the podcast and I figure if they say no, so what? It's okay. At least a try. I won't regret that I didn't ask.
Well, they always say if you never ask, you never know. You have to ask.
Oh, I what was it? Michael Jordan who said you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Yeah,
I always thought that was so cool.
exactly.
Um, but I want to talk to you more about when our deceased loved ones, when they do pass and they do transition, how do they communicate with us? Like, is it through our dreams? Do we have feelings when they're around? Like, what what can you tell us about them communicating to someone like me who has no spirit? Like, I don't have the gift. How can I communicate with them? How can I feel them?
Yes, definitely. So it depends on how high the vibration is with each person. Everybody's different. Every single one of us has a psychic connection within them, within their soul, and using your solar plexus chakra, that's your psychic ability to connect. And it's up to each individual on how hard they want to use their psychic ability using their chakras and their meditation and their focus. And you have to be in a good place mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And you have to work on your breathing and meditation in order to feel. Now, for a regular person that does not have the extra powerful connection mediumship, um, the first one is they come to us in dreams. That is a known factor. They come to us in dreams, and it depends on how deep the dream is and how much energy spirit has to convey their messages or send visions to our dreams. And it's up to us to remember our dreams. And some people have told me from my experience, they have a full blown conversation with their loved ones in their dreams, and they wake up remembering the whole dream and they write notes
Oh,
down.
wow.
And yes, and keep attention to your dreams when spirit of your loved one is giving you signs, and he'll tell you or she'll tell you, your loved one in your dream, what is their physical sign in this physical world. It could be a specific bird, a specific color of a bird. It could be a butterfly. It could be any flying animal. Birds of all nature are spiritual beings. They are the ones that easily can fly all the way up to the universe and heavens and bring us that spirit message from our loved ones. And our loved ones use birds, all kinds of birds, butterflies, bumblebees, woodpeckers, to use their spirit to come through and show us in the physical world. Sometimes numbers, you see a specific number repeat itself all the time. For example, 444 or 777. Wherever you go, every time you look at a clock or a watch or the car, your phone, you see the same exact number. I always tell people Google that angel number and see what that message is. And it could be your loved one sending you a specific message through that angel number. Also, it could be noises, the bells mostly. Like I experience a lot of bells ringing, even there's no bell. I experience bells ringing. It could be church bells, it could be the regular bells, but you hear bells ringing. And sometimes if you have wind chimes and there's no wind at all, but the wind chime is moving and you hear it ringing, that's your loved one telling you, I'm around you, watching you, protecting you, and they shake the wind chime for you. So these are the most ones that are usually always sending those messages for us.
Oh, that's so awesome. I want to ask you another question about so when people pass, and let's say they have unresolved issues or they don't want to move on, do they linger? Is that true? Do people, spirits actually just linger? And how can we help them if they do?
Okay. And I'm only going to reply to that, answer that question based solely on my experience. Been doing this, connecting with spirit since I was 7 years old when I woke up to this world and realizing what it is that is happening to me. Yes, some spirits that have unresolved issues, they will linger. So I call them, they are stuck in the physical world. But that doesn't mean they have not crossed over. They do cross over to the light, but they stay back here in the physical world until they try their best to convey their message and solve whatever issue they're holding on to, like forgiveness, like letting somebody know I am truly sorry, like um unfortunately people that commit suicide, they want to let their loved ones know why after they have passed. Um, if somebody was in a car accident or a tragic accident, usually the spirits, from my experience, that linger and are stuck are the tragic ones, tragic death. For instance, murder, suicide, a car accident. Those three are the most, or a sudden heart attack, are the most spirits that stay stuck here in the physical world until they can convey messages or have that peace with whatever they need to convey to their loved ones by using people like me, for instance, or sending dreams, powerful dreams. And once that happens, they can be released into the universe and the heavens. Sometimes people are stuck, spirits are stuck, and they need the help of a third party, like somebody again, like me. And what we do is a release ceremony. So you bring their loved ones to a specific place, either where they lost their lives or somewhere they truly love to be, like in the mountains or near water. And you'll have the loved ones of that spirit, his close family members, write beautiful things to them and tell them that it's okay to cross over, that it's okay to find the light. It's okay to find peace wherever you are. And then they write them little poems or little paragraphs. And then once they've told them it's okay to cross over and be released, they burn the little paper and then they let the ashes fly and then they use salt. They throw salt and they do a celebration of life. So it's a release ceremony and a little celebration of life. It will help that lingered, stuck spirit to find peace with his or her people in the physical world that are alive and to help that spirit cross over to the light and find their peaceful place in heaven.
Awesome. Now, I wanted to talk to you. You mentioned suicide. You hear that if you commit suicide, God is going to punish you and you're going to go to hell. And also, animals don't have souls. And I remember raising my kid hand and saying, no, my dog has a soul. Like, this isn't okay. And I always thought if someone commits suicide, they are not in their right mental state. Why would God punish them? So, does God punish them for committing suicide?
Strong question. And I know that your followers and the people that are going to watch this are from all aspects of life. Some of them are believers and some of them are not. I always tell people this is a no judgment zone. We don't judge if you believe or you don't. I always tell people believe in something. It doesn't matter what it is, believe in something. Again, based on my experience with all different people of this, I've met with all types of people from different backgrounds, different ethnicities and cultures and races and different religions. And everybody has their own belief system. But I'm just going to reply to your question through my belief system. Okay? I do believe in God, and it's okay if somebody doesn't. That's cool. We live together, and it's a melting pot. Everybody's different. I do believe in God, and I will tell you from my experience, no matter what that spirit went through or the way they died, specifically suicide, God is a forgiving God. There is forgiveness in heaven. Yes. I have spoken to a lot of spirits channeled a lot of spirits that did commit suicide. And they are in that beautiful space, in that beautiful area where I see it as heaven, and they call it heaven. And it is a beautiful place. And you are forgiven. Now, there is a time to cross that light, and you have to go through the process on your way to the light. And when I use the term the light, I'm describing the beautiful, peaceful space up in the heavens, in the universe. You go through whatever you need to go through in the process so that everything is let go, and there's forgiveness and there's peace. Because in order for us to get to our final space, our final destination, our soul is pure, our soul is at peace. We're not holding or lingering to anything behind us. So yes, even though a lot of people commit suicide, and I believe personally, in order for somebody to commit suicide, they are in a very dark, dark space. And they couldn't see that there's any way out of where they are. They can't take it. They're done. And it's sad. It breaks my heart. And that's when they said, I'm done. I'm done. I got to go. I can't handle the pain anymore. And, but there is forgiveness. Yes, there is forgiveness.
So you were talking about the beautiful place. Have you seen it? What
Yes.
does it look like?
Wow. Okay. Again, every answer is only based solely on what I connect with. And I always tell my clients and my friends and my loved ones, if I don't feel, hear, or see, I'm not gonna channel. I'm not gonna, and it's it's so peaceful. Well, I'm gonna describe it the way when I astral project and I go to a space, and some people call it the unknown, some people call it heaven. I call it heaven. It's very peaceful. Um, all the colors are very bright. I'd have to say that.
Lorenzo, thank you so much for being with us today. This is so awesome. I'm so grateful for you. And folks, please read below the description so you can find out more about Lorenzo, and please subscribe so you can be a part of these awesome podcasts with these amazing guests. So have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you.